Good morning, world. I think I have something interesting for you on this lazy Saturday morning. This is what it claims to be, at least, is 4D Tetris. It means essentially 4-direction Tetris rather than 4-dimensional, because we are still playing on a flat plane, but the blocks come in from 4 different sides, and I find that very interesting. So first of all, let's jump in and check out some of the gameplay just to see how it works. I'm sure we all know Tetris, and so there's not going to be any big surprises there. And then a little bit of critique at the end where I have a few thoughts that might be interesting, I hope, anyway. But first of all, let's have a look at the game. So we hit run game and we maximize it out. And that works. Now, the first critique is that there are no sound controls. I've muted the tab because it was playing relentless music in the typical Tetris manner, not the Tetris music, something that the developer has either created or found himself. I'm scared of copyright, so I'm keeping it muted. The sound controls of the of the pieces still make sort of clicky noises, but it would be nice to have the ability to turn off the music and leave the other sounds or something like that. So devs always have sound controls in your game. A lot of people really like that. There are instructions of how to play. I'll show you guys how to do it. Just note the controls are either arrow keys or WASD, and either ZX or OP for rotations, which essentially means that's a very nice design because it means you can use your right hand to move the pieces and your left hand to rotate them, or vice versa, depending on what you prefer. So good job there, Dev. Right, so there's nothing else really to look at other than to start the game. So you click start. Now your pieces drift in from 4 different sides, and they keep moving in that direction until they hit something that stops them, like this central piece, which is fine, and makes for a perfectly normal Tetris game, except that once you have destroyed a piece, a block, because you try to make a 6x6 block, and as you can see there, once you have destroyed the block, you are left with pieces in mid-air, which is not like Tetris. In Tetris, the pieces would drop towards towards the bottom, and whereas here the bottom is the center, and I would have liked to have seen this be a bit different so that it follows that Tetris norm, which is my strongest critique for the game. Is why do your pieces float in mid-air? Why do they not continue to move towards the purple block once there is nothing holding them up? I think that is how it should work, and that would be the biggest difference I would ask for. Obviously, I have no idea what the development costs and concerns of that would be like, and this does add a whole different element to the game. But yeah, it's Tetris. Why does it not act like Tetris? You can stick things sideways, but you can't move backwards. And in fact, that is my other critique, in that if I now press backwards from the motion of this dropping, so S in this case, it shoots to the end, and because it has not hit a block, this is game over. So my suggestion there would be to design it so that if it's not going to hit a block and stop, if it is going to end, the fast to the end button shouldn't work, because it's very easy to bump that accidentally and just lose the game through a concern. With apologies for the bloody dogs barking in the background. That is this neighborhood. Anyway, so that is the nature of the game. Critiques I've made, obviously the UI, like I said, it's generally fine. It's very responsive. Needs sound controls. Sounds are fine, just need the ability to turn the music off. Artwork is your classic Tetris artwork. I like it a lot. I especially like the big chunky pixel fonts in the game over here, and the block design is great. It's Tetris. There's only so much art you can do. Maybe some interesting backgrounds or the ability to change backgrounds might be an idea for later iterations of the game, but certainly not necessary, as the game is great. It's a good game. The sort of the what I call the feeding in terms of the game handling, and that is absolutely fine. The pieces were responsive. Everything worked exactly as I was expecting it, except for the weird thing where pressing in the wrong direction shoots the piece to the end and can end the game. That was very confusing when I started. I didn't like that. And finally the question of immersion. Obviously, this doesn't have a story. It's Tetris. Tetris doesn't really have a story. There are some, I think, possibly apocryphal stories about how it was invented and things like that, but obviously that's not relevant to the in-game universe. And now we've got Hardy-Dars joining in with the dogs. Good lord. Okay, hopefully they're done. For those who don't know, Hardy-Dars are a member of the ibis family, but they are, as you can hear, very, very naughty, but otherwise pretty cool birds. It sounds like they've gone away now. Anyway, so obviously the immersion question from that perspective is not really a consideration. So the game is fantastic from there. Like I was saying, I would prefer it if, instead of the pieces just moving towards the other side of the board, and then just staying stuck in mid-air, if the pieces around them are destroyed once they get attached to blocks. I would prefer it if they were moving towards the purple block rather than towards the end of the board. So they should be, their sort of slow step logic should be in that direction. And if the pieces around them are destroyed and they're hovering in midair, they should continue to move towards the purple block. I think that would be more true to the Tetris image, and probably a more fun game concept. This I emulate to if the blocks were destroyed in a Tetris game, if the Tetris blocks didn't fall but just stayed where they were and you had to destroy them further up, that would be like the way this game works, and that would be very, very difficult and very different. So yeah, if I had to ask for a different sort of core game design, which would obviously involve altering and possibly making the engine very, very more complicated, that would be the way I would like it. But this is not how this game works, and that's absolutely fine. It's not wrong, it's just different, as far as my opinion is concerned, and you can take my opinion with all the gravity that you might want. Who knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, so critiques aside, this game is fantastic. Come and play it. Come and give the developer some love. And that's all I have to say about that. In YouTube, if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more Itchio games reviewed and some other gameplay, click the subscribe, ring the bell. But the most important thing you can do here at my level is comment on the videos, because YouTube notes your engagement and will prioritize feeding you through the YouTube algorithm the videos that you comment on. So the best way that you can train YouTube to give you good videos is to comment on them. That's engagement, and it teaches the algorithm what you like and what you're interested in. Also, it will engage things that you're not interested in. So if you comment on something that you don't like, YouTube's algorithm will go, oh, he likes that, and then try and feed you more of those videos. So yeah, don't comment on videos that you don't like. Do comment on videos that you do like, and you'll see more of the stuff that you like. And that's how it works. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope it entertained and amused, and I will hope to see you in the next one.